Sounds like something, a murder.
Ooh, you smell good.
Welcome to Always Room for More. I'm your host, Chris Moore, and with me always the beautiful Katrina Penny.
Hi, I'm Katrina.
And our best friends, Ryan and Spinny.
Hi there, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Spanny.
So last night, we all got together and watched a movie that I like to watch. I've watched it before, and Ryan's seen it before, but Trina and Spinny never seen it. And that lovely gem was Gangs of New York. And holy shit, that's a 3-hour-long fucking movie, y'all.
Long. That's an emphasis on long. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was quite long.
Oh, and it's a good one. But on that note,
That was an intense movie. Sorry.
well, I was gonna say we're gonna discuss our thoughts on the movie and exactly what we liked and didn't like about it, I guess, and go from there.
Yeah. I'll smoke weed about that.
That sounds good.
Well, I forgot to mention, I bought a new bong, so I'm back on the bong team. I call it the Green Meanie because it hits like a beast. And it's got a bubble bottom, so bubbles, Green Meanie. From Trailer Park Boys.
Oh.
That was one of his alter egos when he wrestled.
Oh.
Pardon me. So, thoughts and theories on Gangs of New York?
It was a good movie. I feel like it maybe wasn't 3 hours good, but it was good.
Well,
So we had a couple different viewpoints last night because me and Chris have both seen it before, but Katrina and Spenny had just seen it for the first time.
if you had never seen it, it's a movie based in 1862 where a young man comes back to avenge his father who was killed 16 years earlier in a brutal gang war over the territory with what they called natives of the land. Like they were calling themselves Native Americans, but they were just the first Americans to conquer America. They say they weren't necessarily natives, so it was a little weird to hear that. Often I was like, but then I guess that's why people don't like Native people don't really like the whole Native American term because of that reason, I guess.
I was going to ask you what your opinion on that was.
Again, like I said, I don't, because I always been told Native American when I was growing up, right? And so, but recently I discovered that people don't actually like that term. They'd rather be called American Indians or indigenous people. So yeah, it was weird hearing that. But anyways, so they're claiming this part of New York for themselves, right? They're a bunch of gangs of, British people, basically. And they're going up against the Irish gangs. Basically saying they don't trust the Irish because they don't follow the same God, because they follow the Roman Catholic and they follow the Christian Catholic or whatever the fuck it is. So there's a whole big gang violent war. And anyway, so that's what the whole movie's about. It's this kid coming back, getting revenge for his father's death in that war. Leonardo DiCaprio is the star. His accent's not too bad because sounds like a person that was born in Ireland but grew up in England, or grew up in America. Yeah. So he had a rough accent for it.
He was in and out a little bit, but it was good.
That's what I mean. That's what you mean, right? Like he grew up there, so he kind of would be kind of in and out.
Liam Neeson was his dad.
Yeah, Liam Neeson was
it?
good. Yeah, that was Liam Neeson in the beginning.
Also known as Qui-Gon Jinn.
Mm-hmm.
That means nothing to me.
Star Wars.
Oh.
That means nothing to me.
Oh,
Daniel Day-Lewis was in it.
Oh yeah, he plays Butcher Bill, who was based on a real person.
Who?
The main bad guy.
Yeah, I missed the name.
Oh, Daniel Day-Lewis.
Oh.
I've heard
And
the
then
name.
in the
but now I
movie,
don't
his
think-
name was Butcher Bill.
Yeah, and he hated Abraham Lincoln in the movie. He played a character that was very against Abraham Lincoln, and then 10 years later would play Abraham Lincoln in the movie Abraham. Or Lincoln, I mean.
That's crazy.
Right? So it's interesting. But yeah, he's an amazing actor, Daniel Day-Lewis. He's a very method actor. Apparently he wouldn't break character on lunch and shit. Like, they go for lunch, him and Leo and fucking the director, and he would stay in character, and waitresses would be scared to go near him and shit. Right?
Jesus.
It's like an 18th century fucking, like, brawler just sitting there, right? Talking to you in that weird fucking accent, like,
Yeah.
and his weird voice he had.
Yeah. No, it was good. It was good. It started out pretty gory,
Oh, yeah.
as well. Like
Like
it wasn't afraid to show some crazy shit. And some of the cinematography was really cool.
Yes.
In the movie,
Did it also, Rob, in a certain area, like that aspect.
a lot of them, like the scenery looked like a painting, but it would be moving. But then it would just look like a new painting in the next frame. It was really cool. Like, especially like a lot of the aerial shots
Right.
of like old New York and stuff like that.
Especially how they did that, because, like, can't really get much old New York, but I guess they built a lot of sets on, like, a set of, in California, somewhere they built sets for it.
Yeah.
I did find it interesting at the end of the movie, how he buried Butcher Bill beside his dad.
Well,
And
because he felt that he was honorable enough to go beside his dad because he was so, what's the word?
Father figure, like
No. He respected the fact that Butcher Bill respected his father enough not to dismantle his body. He talked highly of him after his death. You know, he was still respectful to him even though he killed him. And that was honorable to him. So and even the way he dies, you know, is kind of like making amends in a way.
Yeah.
So I feel, is probably like, oh, okay, well, now you're worthy to be next to my father, sort of deal. That's what I got from it anyway.
See, I had
Did
this
you talk
similar...
to Chris?
No, actually, we never talked about it. We left it till for today. But literally, I had the same theory, but my idea was that he had more of a father figure in both people. You know what I mean? Like, he had the father when he grew up with, like, as a little boy, that taught him to be a good person, a good man kind of thing. And then he kind of went under the wing of Butcher Bill, who kind of tried to teach him like a son on how to be a brawler like him, how to be a badass like him kind of thing. So that's why I think he was torn near the end, because he's like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I actually do feel something for this motherfucker. That's why he saves him in the one scene, you know? Because he obviously feels, you know, like, I kind of have a connection with him. I never really had that growing up with my father, because he didn't know his father very well, because he died at the age of, what, 10?
Yeah.
Right? So, like, that's what I thought. Like, maybe he honored him because, yes, he honored his father in the same way, but he also felt like, you know, he did kind of show me how to survive in this cutthroat fucking world. But yeah, it's a crazy movie.
I liked the end where, like, they, like, I mean, obviously, we're a little late for spoiler alerts, but
Yeah.
where they, like, do the phase out, like, over time with, like, how, like, you can see the graveyard kind of deteriorating.
Right.
Which leads me to ask, is it based on a true story?
No and yes, because Butcher Bill's a real person, and that whole riot at the end there actually did happen. There was a draft riot, and there was a lot of people getting killed, you know, unfortunately, you know, like people who weren't white and all that, unfortunately. They were being slaughtered because the whole Lincoln was against slavery, right?
Right, yeah. Lincoln abolished slavery, and
so
there
they
were a
were-
lot of people that were pissed off
And
about
he made
that.
the draft right, or he made the draft too, to get people
Actually,
into
that I have a question about that because something confused me about that.
the. Go ahead.
Now, okay, I understand a draft is going to war. You're being drafted to war. I understand that. That's basic.
Right.
What threw me is information I didn't have prior. Is a draft like a raffle that, like, basically you, if your name's like pulled, you go to war, and then, like, well, it's like
Yes.
it was saying, like, you can buy out of this for $300. So clearly, you know, the rich don't have to go to war because they can buy out of it easily, and the poor are just going to be like, well, I guess fuck us, right? But it's kind of like Hunger Games where it's like, you're in a hat, and if you get pulled, you have to go to war. That's how that works.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they based the Hunger Games on some real shit like that.
I have an interesting fun fact. Donald Trump actually got drafted for the Vietnam War, and he got out of it because he had bone spurs.
Big fucking surprise. The coward ran. Like,
so yeah,
shocking.
Not very hard because
So,
you had bone
yes.
spurs. You know how hard it is to run when you have bone spurs?
on another interesting note, I actually went to high school, and
You went to high school?
you remember
Wow.
I went to high school.
Every school was high school for him.
I got high grades.
Go to school
Anyways.
high, take the test high.
One of my teachers was in football when he was younger, and he went down to the States because he got a scholarship, and then that was when the Vietnam War started. So he was from Canada, went down to the States for school with a scholarship, and then got drafted for the Vietnam War. And all of his friends who actually lived down there were like, you know what, fuck this, peace out, I'm going up to Canada. I'm not going to the Vietnam War, because a lot of people did that lived in the U.S. were like, we're going to Canada because there was no draft up here. So him being from Canada, getting drafted down in the States, he had two choices, either go back home or go with the draft. And he actually went with the draft and said, you know what, I guess I gotta go. This is my call to fight for the country.
Fuck.
Well, geez.
And he basically said to me, you know, I basically knew if I went home, my dad would have kicked my ass. What you fucking coming back here for, son? You got drafted to go to war.
I had an English teacher who was drafted in Vietnam. And he didn't want to talk about it. We found out about
That was
it.
Mr.
Yeah.
This is the same guy.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
I didn't want to drop any names.
I was
but
gonna say, yeah, since he never wanted to talk about it. He was always like, "No, I don't want to talk about it." I was like, "Damn, that's some fucked up. You know, some shit happened."
Yeah.
Because that was a fucked up thing. That war.
Well,
That man killed Med.
that one fucked up a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
War fucks up people, man.
Yeah, wars never changes.
What is it good for? Sorry.
two different references we're going for there.
My bad. My bad. It's out. I'm good.
It's all good.
Anyways, you want a random science fact for the day? The clouds on Mars that I was talking about?
Yeah.
We'll post a picture on the social medias for
They were
you
having
guys.
a conversation prior to the podcast about something sciencey that I was not paying attention to, and this is what it is.
Oh, are we done with Gangs of New York?
I don't know. I guess.
We'll get back to it.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Just-
We'll always circle back around.
Just a
Clouds
random
on
picture.
Mars.
Yeah. Well, these vaporizing gases are forming little clouds on Mars.
We're seeing a picture of white clouds
On Mars.
on Mars. Ghost clouds. I'm guessing.
Cool.
Wait, clouds are already white, so what am I even saying?
Not all clouds are white.
I guess there's some are dark gray, purplish.
Wait, what other color clouds are there?
Have you ever seen a pink cloud? It's called sunset.
Hell no.
Really?
It's called
Okay,
sunset.
Yeah, but the cloud itself is not pink.
Color is an illusion, dude.
But like,
shit.
look at,
Like, literally, color is literally just refraction of light making different colors in the air. So technically, it doesn't really have a color. It's just what the fucking atmosphere is like bouncing it back at. Am I wrong, Mr. Science?
you're right. You're
Yeah,
correct.
exactly.
Colorless.
We go to our resident science guy.
Yo, well, think about this. You said, are all clouds white?
Yeah.
Look, what is Saturn and Jupiter?
Cloud City?
Close, a little bigger than a city.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like look at all the different colors on Saturn and Jupiter.
But that's gases.
Isn't that what a cloud is?
I don't fucking know. You're the science guy. You teach me.
Clouds are just gases.
Isn't
I thought it was like
clouds
vapor,
are like
water.
Yeah,
vapor,
water
whatever.
vapors.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't what is vapor the same as gas?
No.
It's the same kind of.
Why are we talking about this?
Vapor is a gas.
Yeah, it's because liquid, gas, or solid, right?
Yeah.
And so vapor would be classified as a gas.
As glass?
Gas. I need to take a drink. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna smoke weed about this.
Yeah. Anyways, we were talking about gangs in New York.
Little side,
Then
little pothole.
Yeah, and then I went to the draft, and then I went to.
Okay, well
Clouds.
the draft was fucking related because they
True.
draft people in the fucking movie. So I'm like, okay, the reason why I asked if it's like a raffle is because that's based. They were like raffling out names
Yes.
in the movie, and I'm like, okay, is that how it fucking works? I've never seen it that way.
Yeah. Back
So
in
I'm
that
like,
time.
so I was like, okay, I'm going to bring that up. Is that something that is a thing? Because I don't know, and yeah.
Yeah, because I think it might have had something to do with like constraints of bringing that many people across an entire ocean, right? Like if it's just like, all right, cool. Well, who are we gonna draft? Everyone. Cool. You can't just send them all out in one go. I wouldn't. It's not even something I would think about until you have to think about it. It just makes sense, right? So it's like it makes sense that they'd have to do it in a certain order. And how would they do it? Alphabetical or like raffle and make it fair?
Yeah.
It's like otherwise all the people with the last name that starts with the letter A would just riot first, and then it'd be pretty predictable though. Like that might have been the way to
thank
go if
God
you just
I'm
drafted it based on the alphabet. You can just round all the people up who have the right.
A to D is protesting this week.
Yeah, it's blocked out, scheduled out.
So yes, that's actually how it happened. The draft. It's pretty. That's why they rioted at the end, because they thought it was unfair that the rich were able to buy out, and so that's why you heard a lot of them say, "Can your daddy buy me way out of the fucking draft?"
Yeah, there was a lot of people, screaming like, "That's not fair!" Like, who has $300? Who has $300?
Like Cameron Diaz's character gets fucking whacked in the fucking stomach with something that looked like a fucking bat or something. I don't know, pretty fucking hard. And they steal her money, and she was not even a rich person. She just dressed up as a rich person to get by. And her accent was horrible in that movie. I'm sorry. She's not a terrible actress, but her accent in that movie, every now and then when she would talk, I was like, I don't know did she trying to be British, Irish?
Did she have an accent? I didn't hear an accent.
Yeah,
She was trying
She was
real
trying
hard.
an Irish accent. God bless her, but I don't know. I couldn't really hear a good accent in that.
Yeah.
I can't do a good accent, so I can't judge, but...
Okay, something I wanted to bring up was they had like these gang courts. You remember that? Like they went into like gang court where it's like, yeah, I want to fuck up this person's gang, and the other person's gang is like, yeah, I kind of want to fuck you up too. So let's figure out a date and a time and a reason why. Write it all out and get it ordained by some person who schedules gang fights. I'm super confused on that one.
Is this like GTA San Andreas?
Yeah, like it's organized.
Yeah, it's organized crime.
Yeah, I guess. I just didn't think it was that organized back then.
Oh, yeah, it started way
That's where
before
the
that.
term came from.
Remember in the Tombstone movie we watched? That's when organized crime really started taking off.
That was Wild West, though. People just did shit. And then, like, dealt with shit that people did. It wasn't like, all right, so we're going to fight. Me and you are gonna fight. And
That's because
this place on this day at this time, and that's our fighting time. All right? If I see you before then, well, you're just a dude. But at that moment, and they're on fourth, we are fighting.
That's literally how Wild West draws usually went. She's like, you meet me here outside this saloon and we draw. That's how shit happened. You were just seeing an advanced version of that because they're like that much closer to the 1900s versus the it's less towards the beginning and more towards the end.
Also, you said it in your first thing, Wild West. It was wild back then. Of course they didn't fucking schedule things. We're talking New York, though, where shit gets scheduled. This is a civilized country.
There's a reason they call it a New York Minute.
Well, civilized for 1862 or 1860 something.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just. I never really thought of that kind of thing taking place. It is kind of weird.
Well, I think a lot of because it's so that they understand it's not just it's a fair thing kind of thing.
Well, think of Revolutionary Wars. They would stand on either end of a field, shoot at each other, and they would move forward depending on how much ground they made.
Yeah, I get that, but I'm just curious who that governing body is who sanctions the gang fights.
Yeah.
That's what I'm curious about. There was like a tribunal.
And how do they get that position?
Like, yeah, who's that guy? What's his story? That's what I
Ken's
want to know,
question is,
Mr. Movie Buff.
Maybe
And
it's
can
just
that
the
person
story.
be bought out?
Well, why would it make a difference? All he is there is to record what's going on.
You might be able
I
to
think
set up
it's by the government. He's there like by tweet and stuff to make sure it's a fair thing. So there's like to make sure that if guns are drawn and stuff, they'll arrest those other people for murder. Where if
If it's just an axe to a face,
if
then
they're
it's
just
like,
brawling
fair
it
game.
out, yeah, they signed up for that. That's what it is. I think it's like they can't be charged with murder after because they all signed
There's
up
a
for
witness.
this.
Yeah, and they're setting the terms of the fight too.
Yeah.
Then as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just wish I could remember the person who was doing that. Was it a significant character who was?
No,
the
I don't
judge?
think he was. He was just
He was
like,
just a rando?
Yeah,
Just some
there.
guy?
Yeah. Again, I think it's just representative of the law to present them so that
Just
if
an
they
old
get
dude.
charged, they can't get charged after for killing people in the fucking streets. Because it's fucking 1862 or fucking lawless, but it's law over
Shit's
there.
gnarly, man.
This probably prevents one person breaking one of the rules, and then everybody else going into chaos.
Yeah, which,
Well, that's what that hanging was for. That's what that was.
well, yeah, I think
they.
they paid those people, which put towards their family. That's why they were like okay to be hung. And the one guy sold his locket for $1.50 because he's like, yeah, he's gonna die, but his family's gonna need that for like bread or some shit. And if he ain't around to do it, he's already in jail for being stupid for some other shit. You know, at least they can get paid. But unfortunately, you know what happened to that family at that time.
Yeah.
I was curious as to why his friend turned him in.
Oh, well, you missed all that because you were kind of doing some other stuff, I think. Like doing your posts.
Oh.
That Jenny girl, Cameron Diaz, he loved her. He liked her a lot and stuff like
The
that.
friend?
Yeah. And she was kind of just, playing him and stuff like that because she knew she could use him.
Pickpocket.
Yeah. And she fell in love with Leonardo's DiCaprio character.
I mean, how could you not? He's so cute.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. And so he got all pissy because she was mad. I saw it first, kind of thing.
Oh, really? That's literally
Yeah,
all
that's,
it was?
That's all it was. He was pissy about that. And that's why he turned him into Butcher Bill and got his ass fucking killed. Because he ended up trying to leave town because Leo was like, I should fucking kill you because you turned me in, but I can't because you're my friend and you helped me so long, so get the fuck out of town. And then Butcher Bill kills him.
Womp womp.
So, spoilers, sorry, y'all.
Stitches get stitches.
It's a fucking 20-year-old movie almost, so.
I mean, if you're behind, it's your kind of...
Yeah.
I mean, hey, let's be honest, I hadn't seen it either.
We were both behind until
Yeah, that's
very
true.
recent.
But
That
it
is
would have been
true.
our own fault if it had been, spoiled, because, like,
I'll put
it's
in the
been out
description.
long enough.
I'll make sure to put in the description that it's a big spoiler alert for Gangs of New York. Like, come on.
I think 20 years is way past the ideal time to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we got the spoiler ban over for this one.
That's what I was, yeah.
I don't think Marvel's going to be breathing down our necks about this one.
Well, it's not a Marvel movie either.
I know, but they put a lot of spoiler bans on their shit.
What is the next Marvel thing
Well,
right now?
sorry. I do believe Black Widow is supposed to come out soon.
Ooh.
After the Winter Soldier Falcon show.
I gotta watch that still.
Oh, really? It's a good
Yeah,
show.
no spoilers, no spoilers. Oh. That's too new to have spoilers. That'd be rude.
Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't talk about that.
Well, yeah, we won't talk about
it.
it.
I didn't spoil WandaVision, right? So.
Yeah, exactly. We're still not going to.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
still kind of
People go watch that shit. It's good. Disney Plus is a little expensive, I guess, for you. So
It's a little bit of a ripoff, but they got some good shit,
they gotta
man.
have a free thing somewhere. I
new. Yeah.
think it's a free month somewhere out there.
Some days it's better than Netflix.
Yeah, they got stars and shit. It's good shit.
I've been
You know
using it a lot.
We gotta stop bringing it up because they don't sponsor us. We keep bringing it up. This is the third time.
Oh man, my drummer, Matt, He has TiVo, or not TiVo, Tubi. Tubi, not TiVo, Tubi.
say Tio. That shit's old.
No, Tubi. But it is, Tubi has like just like a bunch of like C and B horror movies and some D ones.
Oh god.
Yeah, Tubi. Yeah, I think we got that too.
It's
free.
bad. I love it. Like some of them are so bad they're good.
Yeah.
Like
That's
there
my
was this
favorite.
one where
Remember?
like they shoved like the like handpiece of a Ouija board into like a girl's face, and then it turned out the wall was the Ouija board, and the girl would just smash her face into the wall.
Jesus.
No way.
And it wasn't even just a one-off thing. They did it like repeated times.
Wow.
That was one of the movies.
Yeah, I think we talked about the one time she was trying to look for something to draw, and I was looking on there for movies to watch, and I saw shark, mecha shark or something like that versus whale wolf.
Oh my gosh, that
It's
was
shit like that. It's so great. It's like just watching terrible movies.
So this explains why I've never seen any of the movies Chris has watched.
You know what would be a fun drinking game? So what you do is like you look at a movie and you watch it, and it's like you have to bet on how much the budget was to make and develop that movie based on how bad it is.
Sorry, what was the drink? What was the bet?
And whoever loses takes a drink. I mean, that would be a kind of slow drinking game.
Yeah, I was gonna
whatever.
say, wait. Do we have to watch the movie? Could we just take a guess after reading the title of a movie?
That would be fun.
Basically,
That'd
'cause
be a
you-
little quicker and probably better.
Yeah, because you know how long people take on fucking those screens of trying to pick a movie, right? So you can make it a drinking game. It's like, well, let's see what this one. I bet you this one only made a fucking thing. Unless someone looks it up. It's like, yeah, it only made fucking 10,000.
Yeah.
It sucks. See, that'd be work. Yeah.
It's like, or you can use that literally for any time there's like a draw straws scenario. It's just like a person who guesses, like,
Yeah. Well, how would you explain the strain? What are we all smoking? I can tell you what I'm smoking. I picked up today some Blue Nova
Blue Nova.
by Sundial. It's a pretty interesting strain, actually. The buds are a nice leafy greenish with nice orange hairs on them. And, whoo-wee, the taste. It's a nice earthy aroma taste that's not too harsh. Oh, it's a little perfect. See that? Yeah.
smells good.
Yeah, right? Don't get a leaf up your nose again.
Bite me.
Judge me for eating it.
And Ryan brought us some,
Motherfucker, I didn't do that on purpose. You did that on purpose.
Okay, so I brought something up earlier, slightly related to this, and because Ryan's always going on about his weed dipped in chocolate.
Oh, yeah.
So I said, what if there was like a flower petal dipped in chocolate? Would you eat it? And Trina's like, I would eat it. I'm like, what's the fucking difference?
There's a difference. I don't know. Like,
It's just plant.
there is a difference.
just
One
a plant.
isn't supposed to get me high by smoking it.
They're both just flowers.
But one does.
No.
Have we ever
And
tried
you'd rather
smoking?
eat the one that doesn't get your
Actually,
petals?
you want to know what? Actually, there is like, how do I explain this? People do mix rose petals in with their weed, and I kind of want to try it.
Really?
Yeah.
So you want to start smoking rose petals?
Yes, I do.
Wow, who's the crazy one now?
Well, apparently everyone else is doing it. I've heard no one else eat weed,
I've
bro.
seen people actually roll blunts with a rose petal.
I smoke tea. tea.
With the rose petal?
No, I've never had rose tea, but I've smoked tea.
Rose is a thing. Like, you can get edible rose stuff. Like, I had a friend in high school who went to France for a trip, and she came back and she actually had lilac and rose little candies, and they were so fucking good. The rose ones were better.
Okay, now you mentioned somebody has rolled a rose petal blunt.
Yeah.
Okay, now if we
That's
can look this up and actually get it done, we'll actually smoke a rose petal blunt in the future on a podcast episode.
Will we? Oh my god, please, can we? Can we?
We'll look see if it's done. How
We'll look it up later, and then we'll make one.
We'll try to see if we can do it for 420.
Oh. Oh, speaking of which,
That would be awesome.
Wow, you gave us a tight deadline on that one.
Well, a tight
I mean,
deadline. but-
there's only 2 ingredients.
yeah, bro, it should be easy to
It's
figure out.
fucking roses and weed.
you just want to make sure that you're not getting it from. You want to make sure they're more like an organic.
Roses, deadly.
Yeah.
Because you don't want them to have the pesticides on them for like the flowering places and stuff.
Oh, makes it a little harder.
Makes it a little harder.
It can't be any worse than
A
smoking
lot of
coffee
people do
beans.
it because they grow their own, right? But one second. I will post a picture to the Instagram, but just to give you an idea of what I'm looking at.
Okay, I see.
Is that weed inside of a rose petal?
A rose petal blunt.
I heard you, but my mind is like...
What did you think it
Blubbering.
was?
His mind is blown. Blowing smoke from all the holy shit hash. 'Cause he brought some bubble hash. And that shit right now is fucking me up. I had a huge toke of that when we first started this pod. Woo!
Yeah, I'd smoke the fuck out of that.
Right? It does look good.
That's
the
sexy.
rose petal blunt.
And I've also, a lot of people I know of smoke lavender with their weed, like in their weed, and it helps like with other like relaxation.
What are the blunts
things.
you bought me rolled with?
Those are corn leaf.
Corn leaf. Yeah, those are good. I like the corn
Those
leaf blunts.
are
So it'd be the same as that.
what are they called? I don't remember the brand.
No, I can't remember.
We'll have to post about it.
I'll put a picture about it in the next pod. Or next time this drops. I've been pretty good at that, dropping the pictures on our Instagram. So if you guys ever wonder what the hell we're talking about sometimes, I will post pictures to the Instagram and Twitter that, shows you all that shit.
Visual stimuli.
Yeah.
For the
Normally I post pictures of the strain we talk about, so I try to take pictures of that,
nice.
Yeah, keep you all updated.
I'm smoking. What was it? A night shift?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, night shift. Yeah, indica. 15%. 15.2%.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's all right. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Very good.
I've been smoking out of a pisser lately. I got back into the pisser thing.
Oh, yeah, I
so
noticed
all,
that, yeah.
all these guys just see the pisser here, but yeah.
Oh,
We'll
pisser
post a
days.
picture of that too.
Classy.
Yeah.
Classy.
Oh,
Spitty.
yeah.
Classic. Classy. Spitty.
It's a MacGyver bong.
No,
It's-
this one's pretty good.
Definitely Southern Ontario,
Yeah.
you know.
You know what's
I'm sure you all have one. You'll see when we post
I'm pretty
pictures
sure
of
you
this.
all call it something different.
Yeah.
Too. It's
Waterfall.
really, really regional depending on what they're called.
We've had this conversation, I think.
Have we?
Not here.
Not here? No?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, when I first moved here, slang was so different.
Yeah.
I didn't know what a pisser was. I had never heard of what a pisser was. I knew what a bucket was, but I didn't know what the term pisser meant. And like I heard it and I literally just looked at my friend. I'm like, "What did you just say? A what? A pisser? What the I was kind of grossed out. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, what does that even mean?
Yeah, you want me to take a hit from a pisser?
I was just not. And they were like, no, it just means it like pours water. I'm like, oh, it's a bucket. And then like, because I didn't know the difference between a bucket and a pisser.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Turns
it's
out one
different,
has
yeah.
holes, one doesn't.
Yeah.
I didn't know that though. Late in life stoner.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is
You
true.
know, I didn't start smoking till my 18th birthday. And then you have my very lax knowledge in it because my friends didn't talk about weed with me because they knew how I felt about it growing up, right? I was a little bitch about it. And a lot of them will probably look at me now and go, hypocrite! I got that. I did. I got that a lot when I first started smoking weed because I gave my friends hell. Oh my gosh. I was such a bitch. And I apologize. I do. To anybody who's listening that was in high school with me, I really do apologize. Because I was a bitch. But you have to understand, I was raised to think that weed was the devil. Like, it was evil. It was that is the word, you know, like, God forbid. And then we did tell about the story of me catching my stepdad out in the frickin' garage.
True.
So, like, we've heard that story, but
Was that Roy?
That was, Roy, my only stepdad, yes.
Yeah.
My dad. But I was hard to deal with in high school. I had a list of rules on my door. Oh yeah, that'll come up. If I can find it, I will post a picture of it because I still have it somewhere.
There's rules.
I did. It was a list of rules for entering my bedroom. And it was like, I was a bitch, man. I was a bitch. Because everybody was always coming over to my house and making a huge fucking mess, like all the time, to the point where I was getting in trouble for it always being a mess. And I was getting sick of it. So I was just like, okay, if you're going to come over, you can't be high. I don't want to deal with your ass. If you're high, turn around and go home. That was literally the first rule on the fucking door. Second thing was pick up after yourselves because I'm not doing it. Something along those lines. Or like it was like knock first or something. Right? But the first rule was if you're high or intoxicated in any way, go home. I was that person. Right? Do you know how many of my friends were high when they came to my house? So many. I was so stupid. I had no fucking clue. I'm like, you're fine. It's cool. Because they were chill. I didn't know they were high.
They're just out front smoking a big fat blunt. Like, hey man, got that axe on you? Just spray some. Give me some of that.
I was so stupid. And oh man. It's no wonder people hated me.
That's why you like that axe smell so much.
Yeah, exactly. Why they always fucking douse themselves in it before they came over. I'm like, ooh, you smell good. Yeah, the teenage voice. Yeah. Yeah.
That's good.
Real proud of it. Then my 18th birthday hit, and I couldn't drink because, yay, underage drinking. I don't advocate it, but I got real wrecked on my previous drinking experience, and I couldn't drink for my 18th birthday because I was just, alcohol made me physically ill. Like, I was just like, this is disgusting. I can't.
Yeah.
So I literally had been talking to my best friend like a week prior, and I'm just like, so this is a thing. And they're like, do you want to try smoking? And I'm like, well, I don't know, maybe. Turns out that night when my mom saw how sick I was feeling after one drink, she was like, why don't you try a toke? I went, wait, what? My mother. Yeah. Oh, yeah, she's going to be mad. She's going to be mad I'm throwing her under the bus. But yeah, my mom.
Specifically asked not to be thrown under
Yeah,
the bus.
I know.
And you're
She was like, please don't be mean to me this time.
Hey, Ma, you see that bus over there?
Oh, I have a correction from last week just to make it a little bit better. I was 5, not 3.
Okay, so that makes it better.
The bus ran her over, but not as hard as we had said.
Yeah. No, my mom is a fantastic mother, and I would not change her for the world. She's my best friend, 100%. But yeah, she saw how sick I was.
Wait, so does that mean your mother gave you your first toke?
Kinda, but not really. She encouraged my first toke. So
That's pretty gnar.
I love it.
Pretty gnar.
Yeah. But, she mellowed a lot after she met my stepdad.
It's better than drinking. I mean, I think
It's
I'd
100%
judge a
better
parent
than drinking.
a little bit less for offering their kid their first joint over their first shot of whiskey.
Yeah.
Not saying one's worse than the other.
I don't really
to each their
condone.
own.
Yeah, I don't really condone underage drinking anymore because, like, I saw how much it fucked up a lot of my friends, Like, I knew a lot of people that were, like, borderline alcoholic at a certain age. You shouldn't be that at 17, It's just a lot. It's a lot. Makes for hell of fun stories, but looking back on it, we really should have been a little less, like looking back as an adult, you're like, ooh, I did that as a teenager.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think we all been there, have that moment of like, oh, I remember when I was
just in a cornfield out there somewhere dying. Right?
Your parents don't know. It's just like, so this is where I die.
Yeah.
True, actually, yeah, I think I've been there.
We've all been there.
The proverbial cornfield.
Yeah,
cornfield.
Spinney's was an actual cornfield, but ours was the proverbial cornfield. Yeah. You living in Hickville and all.
Yeah.
Well, I remember going out and partying and stuff at a young age, just doing stupid shit. Like, I remember one time me and my old friends went out and partying, and we started to crash parties, I think. We were driving down just the country roads and stuff, and we remember seeing, like, these bunch of people, like, basically all gathering in the backyard of this guy's place. And we get out, we go in, and we're just like, hey, how's it going, right? And my buddy, he was very brave and stuff like that, and he was, like, kind of always, just keep saying yes, man. If they ask you where we're from, just say we're from Montreal and shit. Just because he used to be able to speak French fluently. He was a very, interesting person. So, anyways, he fucking was just telling people, yeah, I just came in from Montreal. They're just showing me around and stuff like that and stuff. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, no, cool. And then out of nowhere, we're all sitting there. All of a sudden, this one guy goes, hey, yeah, that looks like that guy. He goes, hey, is your name, And he said his name. And he's like, oh, no, I'm not that. My name is, Steven. And he's like, oh, okay. Because you look like this other guy, right? Which that's actually who he was. And they're like, because, that guy beat up my cousin. We're going to kick his ass. He's like, oh, okay. Yeah. And then he looked at me and my other two friends. He's like, we gotta go. So we all fucking took off. We got into his truck. And we just fucking took off fucking down the fucking highway. Me and my other friend were in the back of the fucking bed of the truck. We're going fucking, I don't know, $190 or whatever, almost 200 kilometers an hour going down the fucking roads. And we're just sitting in the back holding on for your fucking life. Mm-hmm. Expecting any minute cars are going to peel out and fucking chase us down the fucking road.
I do have a slight, modification to what I was saying. I don't condone underage drinking to a point. Mm-hmm. I think that, if you have a parent that's introducing it to you safely, because that's what it comes down to is, like, are you supervised? Are you being, like, let, out to be rambunctious? Because, teenagers are going to find it whether they're allowed to or not. And
usually
they're going to experiment. They're going to do, it's unrealistic
to Ryan are good cases of that.
To assume, that they're not going to try it. So why not allow them to try it in the safety of your own home? Yeah. And be able to monitor them and keep an eye on them, right? Because there was always the rule, you take a sip of alcohol, you're not allowed to leave the house, right? So I kind of, like, I teeter because, like, I feel like underage drinking can lead to, like, a slippery slope. But at the same time, like, if it's shown to you responsibly,
right,
it can be okay at the same time.
Yeah, see, my parents, when they asked me if I smoked weed,
right,
I said, yeah, I smoke weed. And then we smoked weed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's how it was with my mom when I found out she was not really smoking weed, but her boyfriend at the time was smoking weed. And she was upstairs, like, just having a glass of wine with him, and she was smoking a joint. And I came out and I was just like, what's going on? I'm like, oh, nothing. He kind of was hiding it, and I was like, I smell that mother shit. I fucking smell that shit, motherfucker.
I know what that is.
Yeah, I was like, hey, so what's going on? She's, oh, well, I guess we should tell you, he smokes weed. And I'm like, oh, well, guess I should tell you, Mom. I smoke weed. Can I have a hit? And so he gave me a little bit of the joint. Oh, it was a good bonding moment. Ever since then, we'd all have, a couple hits off a joint or something and go watch a movie together. Or, he would give me some edibles and sometimes.
Yeah, your mom was probably like, about time.
I mean, Roy and I bonded over weed a lot. Yeah. That was me and him thing. And I appreciated all the times that we got to go driving and smoking together. That was a really great bonding moment for him and I. Or we'll just go, like, sit somewhere or, like, watch the rain. Oh, I remember one time at the trailer, we were just sitting out front smoking a bowl and just chatting, listening to the radio and watching the rain fall. It was fantastic. We were just chilling.
He's the first person that taught me actually how to roll a joint properly. So that's why I know how to roll a joint now.
True.
So it took me years, but then, he showed me a couple ways and was like, oh, shit, okay, well, ever since then, I can roll a joint pretty damn good now.
Nice.
Well,
nice,
I mean, he was pretty damn impressed with the few that you rolled for him.
Yeah.
The one when we used to take them to the hospital for him so he could go smoke out front.
Yeah.
And the one day he was like, this is absolutely perfect.
It's the perfect joint.
Like, he was like, well done. He like clapped him on the back.
The holy doobie.
Yeah, he was
The
just
holy
so thoroughly impressed with that joint.
Yeah, I used to roll with really shitty ones, like, you know, either the big humpy ones or like the ones that just look like a little twisted up fucking toothpick.
I can't roll fucking joints.
I'm his best friend. I've been with him a lot of years. I smoked a lot of joints. A lot of successful ones, a lot of not successful ones.
I remember when, like, I was trying to learn to roll. I still can't roll. God bless his heart. He tried to teach me to roll. He managed to teach you. He could not teach me. He gave me a big bag of leaf, like shake,
Nice. Yeah,
one day.
yeah.
And he's like, use this. Get it all over the place. I don't care. It's crap. But practice with this. And like he just like would help me try and like roll a joint, and I got decent. I could do it, but not good enough.
Have you tried
No.
wetting your fingers a little bit?
No, I haven't.
That helps me actually to get the rolling better and you know, to go like this better. To have a little bit of damp fingernails
A
tips.
little bit of grip for the
paper sticks
paper.
to your
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not kind of sliding for you.
Interesting.
And make sure you make it 2 humps. You leave a little dip in the middle so that you can push the weed into the middle.
I remember him telling me that.
Right?
I remember him telling me. Oh, I remember him telling me that. I'm fine.
Anyone want to know some interesting facts about the movie?
Yeah,
Some trivia?
we're gonna come back around to that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, what's what we're kind of talking about, you know, here and there, so it's fine.
I like movie trivia.
Leonardo DiCaprio accidentally broke Daniel Day-Lewis's nose while filming a fight scene. Day-Lewis continued to film the scene despite the injury.
It's Mustachio Man, right?
Yep, that was the bad guy, Butcher Bill.
Okay, can I make a comment right now?
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
literally, in my little notes here, I said, because I didn't know his name,
Yeah.
why was Leo working with Mustache Guy to get... And then I'm like, to get close to him to kill? Question mark.
Yes.
Basically, I think he was doing it to get close enough so he could stab him in the back at that annual celebration of him killing his father, right? But I think him kind of taking him under his wing the way he did made him kind of be like, although then again, maybe the reason why he saved him because he wanted to kill him.
I was like, but I was just like Mustache Guy. And then after you told me his name, I was like, brackets Bill.
I wonder if, because Leonardo DiCaprio was in that movie with him, I wonder if him witnessing Daniel Day-Lewis with the broken nose carrying on through the scene, if maybe that inspired him in kind of The Revenant, like when he broke his fist on the glass.
That's
That's Django.
yeah,
Unchained.
Django Unchained.
Django Unchained.
Yeah.
Different movie.
Yeah, spinny nose, spinny guy.
Scene, correct. Movie different.
Yeah, same actor, same scene. Good.
Do you think that
movie.
inspired him?
Probably. He probably realized like that's how a real actor.
That's how.
That's
you
how
know,
it's done.
Yeah, you don't fucking break scene just because you're hurt. You keep going until it's fucking done.
Viggo Mortensen
Yeah.
kicked the fucking helmet, broke his foot, screams in agony, and then just keeps moving on like a motherfucking trooper. That is a Lord of the Rings motherfucker. I love him.
They cut, let him, you know, hit, like sew up his foot and whatnot.
I know.
But yeah,
They stopped, but the scream is real. Let's
yeah,
just
they kept it in there. That's pretty decent. They kept that shit in there.
Lord of the Rings.
Kept going in life.
Let's come back to Lord of the Rings.
It always comes back to Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is my love. I love Lord of the Rings so much.
Okay, the name The Dead Rabbits has a second meaning rooted. Okay, The Dead Rabbits is what the Irish gang was called. I guess I should let people know that. So, Irish gang was called Dead Rabbits. The so-called real Americans were called the Native Americans, the natives.
Air quotations hard on that.
Yeah, it just, I don't know. It just doesn't feel right for me to call them Native Americans. I'll just say it out loud.
Did you not see me at the beginning? Like, he literally is like claiming like something about the natives. I'm like, motherfucker, you are white. Like, you are whiter than white. You are translucent.
And I get it. I get it. They're saying because they were the first to arrive in America, they took over America. They're the natives to America. They were born and raised in America, so
That's
they're
what
the
they
natives
think.
to America, right? And it's just, and maybe that's why they don't like being called Native Americans now. Like, we don't like being called Native Americans now. Maybe that's why we'd rather be called Indigenous and all that stuff. Anyways, we're not going back onto that. I always thought that was weird. But yeah, so the Irish gang was the Dead Rabbits. It has a second meaning in Irish American vernacular. In 1857, the word rabbit is a phonetic corruption of the Gaelic word rabid.
Phonetic.
Yeah. Meaning man to be feared. Dead is a slang intensifier, meaning very. So dead rabid, or I can't sing Gaelic. Sorry guys, I'm just reading.
That sounded fun. Still, I don't even remember the words though, but I remember the oh, forget it.
Sensations you felt?
No, I was trying to think of the tune, like da 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 da, like the way he did it, like the way, like what's that called? Spinny, you're the music guy.
Inflection.
Thank you.
Inflection.
So it just means
Wow.
very dangerous man, basically.
What am I looking at?
Oh, how do you say the dead rabids.
Did reads. Did reads.
I don't know. I can't speak Gaelic. Anyone here can speak Irish or
Blah,
Gaelic?
blah, 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 blah. No,
Yeah, right. I'm not even gonna try this. I don't want to butcher their language. It's a good, nice language. I like it.
it's a beautiful language that I would love to hear on a regular basis, just not out of my mouth, because I butcher.
Butcher Trina?
What?
No.
Butcher tree.
Are
It
you
was Butcher
joking?
Penny.
Are you joking right now? Like, do you really think that I could kill a fucking animal of it or anything?
That's true.
No, it was about words. I was kidding.
Oh, yeah, I'll butcher a sentence like no tomorrow for sure. Yeah,
You would kill someone if they were hurting an animal.
person would be easier than animal. I could not. I couldn't kill an animal.
Yeah. I can attest to that.
I wouldn't kill
I've
a
seen
person
some-
either, though. Never mind. I'm not a murderer.
Sounds like something a murderer would say.
You caught me.
Oh, it's been good times, everyone.
It's yeah. It's fine.
Oh,
Yeah, that Daniel Day-Lewis, he was crazy. He apparently, kept his accent through the whole fucking thing, through the whole production of the film. Didn't jump out of character at all. So imagine dealing with that in and out, 24/7, no matter where you're like, hey, Daniel, want to go get some lunch? And he's like, talking in that old fucking English talk. He's like,
yeah, wise guy, are you?
it's like,
Kind of.
okay,
No,
yeah.
it did not sound like that.
It was like Brooklyn Cabbie from the 19,
Yeah, he had like a
1800s.
little hint of it, but it wasn't as bad as that.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. It was
He was trying to be Brooklyn with like a weird undercurrent of something else that just it was like he almost tried to sound Brooklyn with a sock in his mouth. Like it's just like just
That was nowhere close either, but a good try.
That was about as close as Spinny.
yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't say it was going to be good. I wasn't even trying. I didn't even try to say a word because I had no words. Words did not come.
There is some foul language in that movie, so if you're not comfortable with certain words, you might
It's a
not
little
enjoy the
outdated.
movie. It is, but it is not outdated because it's depicting a time when that shit wasn't. I'm not saying it was okay,
But it happened.
It's you can't change history. That's history.
happened.
Like I said, the movie isn't exactly 100% accurate, but it is accurate in a lot of ways, like the actual riots at the end, the racial war of people hating the Irish the immigrants coming in.
Yeah, the entire thing was about race.
Exactly. Like I said to Ryan earlier, the movie is about the haves and the have-nots, kind of, the whole thing. Whether it be racist against race or people in the lower slums versus the people in the higher part of the city. And when it came finally down to it was, again, like the riot between the people who couldn't afford to buy the way out of the draft versus the people who could.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's a good movie, folks. Another one we recommend to you to watch. Probably gonna do that again. You know, we'll pick another movie. Someone else is gonna pick a movie that two people haven't seen.
Yeah, we're gonna do this thing where we're gonna pick a movie that two of us know, and the other two don't. So we have, you know what I mean, two people who are in the know that know a lot of would know more about it than the other two, and like we're gonna. I think you're each gonna pick a movie, and we're all gonna be on different teams.
Basically.
Sometimes it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, because like me and Ryan both seen Gangs of New York, and you two didn't.
Exactly.
Right, and next time, you know, whoever picks the next movie, it's gonna be one of you two versus us two, kind of thing.
I had a movie. I don't remember it.
I told you to write it down.
You did, and I didn't.
I'll remember it, he says.
Ryan just shoved his book in our Spinny's face.
Yeah.
Hey, two of us here have notebooks.
I have a phone.
I find I remember
Is that
things
phone
easier,
dead?
and I retain things better when I write it down physically.
Yeah, it was a good idea that you brought that out during the movie. You know, like maybe you couldn't catch everything like you wanted to talk about, right? But like you were able to get some things up.
Yeah.
Well, I have also what are they fighting over? Territory ? 5 points ? But I assume
Basically, yeah. Like I said, it's in the beginning, it's about faith, how the one side was Christian versus the Roman Catholic kind of thing, and how they wanted to come in and not be bothered by the other people trying to, you know.
I originally was like, is it Christian versus pagan? And then they're like, oh, it's like more Roman Catholic kind of like, I gotcha.
Yeah, because, you know, all that shit was broken up into fucking different, like, you know how many different offsets there are of the,
different sects.
right? And so they all hate each other. They all have different beliefs. They all have different, you know, thoughts. It's all anarchy there. It reminds me of this new book I actually got, new comic book I picked up today, Preacher. I've been hearing about it by a lot of people through all my life because a lot of people read it, but I never got into it because when I first heard about it, I was kind of too young. It's a very deep, dark book with a lot of violence and interesting characters. Garth Ennis and I forget who drew it, but yeah, it's a really interesting book so far. It's a good one to read.
I want to get back into reading.
It's a comic book, though.
Yeah,
Like
not
I don't
in
know if I said
books.
that. I find comic books are easier. Like, I like reading novels and reading actual books and stuff, but comic books are easier to read for me because the words aren't all condensed in the page. I can read the bubbles and see, you know, the beautiful artwork and then keep reading the whole story and find out the whole thing.
Yeah.
Only hard part about it, though, is there's a character who's Irish, obviously. And like I said, I can't do an Irish accent, so in my head, I'm trying to read his parts, but I'm trying to do an Irish accent in the fucking head, in my head, so it sounds good, because...
Should they try to spell it out in an Irish accent?
Some of it, because they give you, like, the certain, like, Irish says, like, they say, like, you know, oi, or I, or a, right?
Yeah.
Rather than what we would say. So it's very interesting to try to read that in my head.
Stuff like boyo.
Yeah, right? And like laddie or lass and all that. And it's like, I want to read it in a fucking good Irish accent so I get the good feel for it, but I can't.
Yeah. I don't think there's any of those people necessarily left. I don't know in my family that speak like that. Because my family's Scottish, right?
Right.
So I don't know. Actually, I don't really know.
Actually, one thing that caught my attention from Gangs of New York that I kind of liked and I wanted to ask you about was the quote, blood stays on the blade.
Yes.
What was he referencing there?
His father, if you remember when he was, like, looked like he was trying to shave it, he cut himself on the cheek. His father did the same thing at the very beginning of the movie before the fight. And he basically was, like, shaving, but he cut himself. And then he gave it to his son. And his son went to go wipe the blood off the blade. And his dad goes, no, blood stays on the blade. And so he's like, oh. And then closes it and puts it away.
Interesting. I mean, I thought it was a neat quote, but why?
I think it's just their ritual stuff, you know.
Okay. I just thought it was a neat quote, so.
I think it's like a pass down from his family. His father before him, probably, you know, before battle, put a piece of blood on it for him and then gave it to his son. And then he did the same thing, and, you know. bloodline, passing the bloodline kind of thing.
Yummy germs. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, okay, that's some
Why?
biological warfare.
Yeah, just think one of those people went to do it, and they fucking her whole cheek started eating away at itself because the fucking
Yeah.
One of them
flesh eating
has
bacteria.
Yeah.
something like VD.
Ew.
Interesting. Turns out Google's got about a 3.5 second turnaround on the answer for that one.
What?
You want to know their reference to why they say that?
Why?
It says, the blood stays on the blade to remind you of the debt you owe to God in the end. Very similar to how monk carves a mark into his cudgel to remind him out of each soul he owes to God when he dies.
You know what? I do actually remember him saying something to that effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. That's cool.
Yeah,
I
right?
kind of dig that.
Right. There's a scene where Butcher Bill is like in his little like after he gets someone tries to assassinate him, he gets shot, and he's sitting in his den with all these hookers around him and stuff. And the mayor comes in, whatever, right, Tweed, and he's like talking to him and stuff. And there's that one girl who's all up on him, and Butcher Bill's like, "Careful there, Tweed. She's Frenchified." Do you know what he meant by that? She had VD.
What?
Yeah, I guess that was a slang term for someone who had VD. Is to say they're
shit.
Frenchified. They had a venereal disease or
Venereal disease.
venereal disease. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, so that's an interesting little tidbit of history because that was true back then.
Yeah. That's
Like,
crazy.
that shit. Ugh.
I mean, it was an interesting movie. I probably wouldn't have picked it on my own to watch, but
Oh god, no.
maybe
Maybe because
That's
Leo
kind of
was
the
in
point.
you definitely caught me with Leo.
it. Yeah, because
You love Leo.
you love Leo.
I love Leo.
That's how you get to watch anything. He's in it, or you love this person. Like if it's Johnny Depp's in it, you love Johnny Depp.
Jason Momoa is in it. You love Jason Momoa. I do. Okay.
You love Keanu.
Let's not go there.
Why?
John Wick.
Well, we're not gonna watch John Wick, but we're gonna watch the new Bill and Ted movie.
I mean,
Those
I
are-
know we've had this conversation about John Wick, and I know what happens in the beginning, and I refuse.
And like certain action movies, I know it's no point to bring her in on because there's no real story in them besides the action that guys like. John Wick is one of those movies. I like it. It's a fucking action movie. It's fucking awesome, but there's no real other than the wife thing and the dog thing. But other than that, there's no real good story in there to drive women
I
in.
mean, not saying that other people, might not enjoy that, but I personally just like a little bit more storyline in my movies. I like something that I can follow that has a little more heartfeltness to it. I like inspirational stuff.
That's why I chose Gangs of New York, 'cause that's violent and stuff like that and has action in it, but it's a history lesson on
I
certain
like history.
ways.
I like history movies.
History in it. You like history.
No, I don't.
I do. Too.
I like history.
Some movies have real history. Some movies,
Some
they
movies
exaggerate-
are
exaggerate a little.
rough and they don't get but
They
everything
do things they shouldn't.
they do the best that they can, I suppose. Some of them are a little rough, but I think that any movie is going to take liberties, obviously, and
Yeah,
any
for the
movie is going
storyline.
to exaggerate and for the storyline. So you can't obviously take a fictional movie or even one based on a true event at face value. You have to do your own research.
Yeah,
you
you
always
went
have to
there.
do your own research,
Yeah.
no matter what.
Exactly.
But they're interesting enough to get you hooked on wanting to research it.
Yeah.
And that's where it gets me is, I want to know more about what that actually happened.
Exactly.
And seeing the difference towards the movie compared to real life.
Yeah. And if that, I don't know if the priest person was real, but the butcher character that Daniel Day-Lewis plays is based off an actual person from that time and era whose nickname was the Butcher. But he had a different actual real name.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to kind of trade off movies, but that just means you guys have to watch one that I suggest, which all of you guys are going to be pissed off about, I'm sure. So
Well, maybe.
What was my movie? Does anyone remember?
I do actually.
Do
it was
you?
Jacob's Ladder.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! Yeah, we
That's
gotta
my
find a
movie.
copy of that to watch somehow.
Yeah.
It's not a funny movie though.
It's not funny, but it's fucked up.
It's a good one though. It's a good one.
It's not funny. It's fucked up. Double entendre there, you know. Anyway. Oh shit.
That's gonna be one that we'll talk about.
No, it won't.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about anymore.
Oh, the movie, yeah.
Yes,
I'm gonna smoke weed about that.
Jacob's Ladder.
I got a bowl packed. Trina's taking a hit. Spinny's brewing his hit.
It was actually based off a book too. Eh?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Martin Scorsese was reading it one day when he was on like vacation or some shit, or house sitting for someone. And it was, this would be a great movie. And you know what time he thought that in? 1975. Yeah, this movie was brewing in his head for years, and he originally wanted to pick Dan Aykroyd and Jim Belushi
Really?
to be Butcher Bill and Amsterdam Vallon.
That was his name?
Yeah, his name was Amsterdam.
Like his actual name was Amsterdam? He didn't make that up? Like when
Well,
he said that his name was like
I
he
think-
looked at them and he was like Amsterdam. I thought he was making that up. What was his name?
That's what he's listed as. I think that's his name.
Like American name?
Yeah, but he never gave his real name.
True.
Right? They may have just called him that in.
They never
The
said it at the
boarding
beginning
school.
of the movie.
No, right? And I think they might have just
call
called him
boy.
that in the boarding school he went to, right? Because of his accent. So you came from Amsterdam. You're fucking Amsterdam. Because he probably didn't talk, right? He was probably shut up because he still just watched his dad get fucking murdered in front of everybody, and his whole gang just turned his back on him. You know,
Yeah.
the dead rabbits were dead. There were no more.
Yeah. Definitely fun to be had in the future with switching off movies, though. Because I've got some musicals up my sleeve, bitches.
The funny thing is that the rules are that two people have to have seen it, but I've seen some of her musicals, so it works. She can make you guys watch musicals. Because I've already been
You know what?
indoctrinated.
Nobody appreciates my taste, and it's upsetting. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Hey, you like pepperoni
appreciate
pizza?
taste.
I like that.
Do I like pepperoni pizza, Ryan?
Not as much as me.
Do I like pepperoni pizza, Ryan? Or do I order vegetarian pizza, Ryan?
See, I don't like your taste.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zing.
Za. Well, you know.
Choking on my-
Fuck it.
I've seen you eat pepperoni pizza.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
willingly, happily, or anything of the sort, though. Like, I'll, like, be like, well, willingly,
what kind of
yes.
horror movie was this?
Not willingly, yes. Happily, no. If I'm hungry enough, I will eat pepperoni pizza, but I don't like pepperoni. It tastes gross. Like, it's not... Especially spicy pepperoni and, like, bleh. Veggie. I like veggie pizza.
Right.
I don't know why we're talking about this, but still.
Yeah, I don't know why we're going on this right now. Because I was going to say, Daniel Day-Lewis is an amazing actor, right? And so is Leonardo DiCaprio. And they are great in that movie. Liam Neeson, also another great actor. For what he has in that movie, he does some good work. Mm-hmm. Anyone else have any good actors you can think of? Like Johnny Depp. He's a fucking amazing.
John C. Reilly was
I was
in
going to say, no one's mentioned John C.
yeah,
Reilly.
John C. Reilly. He's in
Yeah,
it.
with his
Yeah.
little mustache, and I'm like, wait,
Okay.
that's the
Jack.
dude. That's the dude from Step Brothers.
I'm just saying, the fact that he was in Chicago blows my mind. When I saw him, like, come on screen in Chicago and start to sing, I was like, wait, what? Wait, what? A whole new appreciation for that motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, he's a great actor.
Like, he can
a
do
lot of
real
ranges.
serious, and I appreciate that. If you can do comedy and serious roles, and you don't think about the comedy role. Like, I didn't think about his comedy role at all when I was watching him.
Oh god, no, because
You know, like you might have, I don't know, but it just
although again, I will say his accent
rough.
was a little rough.
Little rough. You can tell who's good at dialect and who's not.
But again, I can't judge. I can't fucking speak it.
What something I'm wondering is like, they're from Ireland.
Right.
Are they off the boat from Ireland, or
Yeah.
were
Most of them, yes.
most of them? Were some of them already here though, and were born here?
When we first come into it, the gang that's there were basically there from like off the boat and trying to live their life there, and they were getting basically bullied by the Native Americans, and so they decided to step up and fight back. And that's where we see the war come in.
Yeah.
But that's 16 years later when we see Leonardo DiCaprio growing up and goes back in. They're all basically integrated into the Native Americans.
Yeah.
You
Yeah. 16
thing.
years later, but I'm talking about 16 years before.
Yeah,
At
yeah,
the very
yeah.
beginning of the movie. Have that? Are those?
They
all
had
people,
just gotten
They
there.
had all just gotten
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
No one had been there for like their whole life, like
No.
20 years or whatnot.
No.
Not
Okay,
yet.
never mind then. I was like, okay, yeah,
That's
then their
why
accents are weak.
That's
I
why
thought-
Leo's is more acceptable because he had been living there for a good portion of his
Yeah,
life,
right.
whereas the ones beforehand they had just got they just fresh off from
Like,
Ireland.
obviously, the guy who plays Monk is great because he is, I think, Scottish or at least
He's the guy that plays Mad Eye
British or
Moody,
something.
right?
Yes, yeah.
I
he's
can't
Mad Eye
remember
Moody.
his actual name.
I can't remember either. I just had it all open too. But yeah, he plays Mad Eye Moody in the Harry Potter series. That lovable mad dog, fucking crazy son of a bitch. Also, the guy who plays Dr. Slughorn is also
Is it that guy?
Mayor Tweed. Yeah, he's Mayor Tweed. Brendan Gleeson was Monk. He's also Mad Eye Moody.
Okay.
Brendan Gleeson. Yeah, he's also a great actor too. Like they're all like chock full of fucking great actors in this fucking movie. Really.
Yeah, they packed it pretty full of good talent. Again, some of the accents are weak,
yeah.
but at the same time, some of the actual actors from the UK, you can tell are actually that have the accents. But yeah, Leo impressed me. Leo always impresses me though, because he's Leo.
Yeah, the movie gets 7.5 out of 10 on IMDb.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right, yeah.
I agree with Spinny how it was a little long, probably not 3 hours worth,
They could have chopped some parts out. I
but
agree.
it was good.
It
You
could
know.
have been 2.5 hours.
We didn't need to see them how they got the bodies. They just needed to figure out that they're gonna sell bodies. That's quick and easy to the point, you know. Although it is funny when they drop the body onto the fucking rowboat and they think it's like someone attacking them, so they start kicking the body and shit. Good times.
They were selling bodies? What? I'm sorry.
Yeah, because they got told of a shipment. Butcher Bill told them of a shipment coming in on the dock, and they would go over there and steal it from whoever was, before the other gang gets there. Unfortunately, the boys don't get there till after the other gang gets there, and they've already took everything and slaughtered everybody on board. So they're looking around for stuff. And Leo realizes there's blood everywhere. And he's like, what the fuck happened here? And turns around and sees like the ship captain comes stumbling out the doorway with a shotgun. And he tells his buddy to get down. And the ship captain shoots it into the air and then falls over with a knife in his back. And that's when they decide they're going to take... Well, that's when Leo decides there's nothing on the ship. So he's just going to take the body because he can sell the body to the science people and make like a good couple $. And that's how Bill basically discovers that these guys are willing to do whatever it takes to make some money. I can use these people.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's like your typical gang movie where the people trying to get into the gang have to impress the mob boss by doing something big
And smart.
yeah, and that makes them a lot of money. So I think I know another movie we should watch. Has everyone else seen Goodfellas?
Yes.
I have not.
Yeah, I've seen it. Chris has seen it. Ryan has not seen Goodfellas.
Nope.
Trina has not seen Goodfellas. It is actually a really good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say it's a good movie?
Good movie. It's a
Yeah, he already
it's a
said
good
that,
movie.
yeah.
Yes. I did say that it was a good movie. It is a
Ryan's
good movie.
literally passing out at the table.
So am I. I'm trying my best here, man.
Well, maybe we should smoke weed about it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, put him
That's
into a
the
coma.
cause.
Yeah. In a world full of great movies, though, there's always room for more.